Yes. Hello. I'm having a spot of tea, as they say. Am I allowed to say that? Was it that guy's name? Keir Starmer, whatever that fucking loser's name is over there. That's the new INGSOC thought police, like leader, communist comrade leader of the new socialist nation of Great Britain. You know, I found this mug in a thrift store. I love thrift stores. I love gold. And it's got this dude with the little headphones and stuff. And I kind of was around the time when we were talking about getting the podcast together. And on the other side, it says Kung Fu Fighting. I find it apropos. I don't know what the literal translation of that is to French, but you know what to do in the comment section. Just educate me, please. Educate me. Apropos, because Kung Fu Fighting in the modern age is often done on radio. Podcasting is kind of the new version of radio. And what does Jocko say in that one Akira the Dawn track? He goes, what is that song called? Every Second Counts. He says when the revolution starts, they take over the radio stations first. They want to get right into the thoughts of the people, right into their brains, where they're listening to the speech and music vibrational frequencies coming out and going straight directly into the brain of the people. Like, I guess it's coming from here. It's going. That's a bonus. I also love Scott Adams' simultaneous sip because it's sort of like it's like an endorphin release when you do the group activity. He explains the science of it way better, but he'll do like a 3, 2, 1 Akira. And so Scott will start the podcast and he'll say, "Time for the simultaneous sip. All you need is a cup, a mug, or a stein, a chalice, or a vessel of any kind." And he has his little spiel, and then he'll go. And you can like hear the sip, and you can have the sip with him, and you can enjoy it, and you're like there sharing time with him. It's pretty cool. Anyway, now you're here sharing time with me. Lucky for you. We are going to talk a little bit about money today. I've been doing some restructuring financially and kind of going through the assessment of the net worth and all this type of things. And it's always been a sticking point for me. I've always had, I grew up with some money. I didn't come from, the Donald Trump level family, but I came from a family that was well off enough that I didn't have to worry about much. I went to a private school. My grandmother taught in a private school. So I had to learn to unentitle myself, and I'm still catching myself and having to learn to unentitle myself and make sure that I'm taking care of the priorities instead of, I have to make sure that the financial vehicle is sound and streamlined and it's efficient. So it's so that every possible effort is moving towards, towards the asset owner class versus the debt owner class. I think that's going to be very important in the future. It's always been very important. I think it's going to be extra important in the future. So I'm focusing on that. So I've been working through some restructuring. I'm investigating where I can grow in my financial independence. And as I'm going through and I'm looking at, the manifesting vision boards, all these different things, none of that does any good if you don't have the right mindset to begin with. So if you have a mindset where, I think from my kind of rich boy entitled upbringing, I grew into especially in my teens and 20s, money is evil. The root of money is, the root of evil is love of money and all this type of things. And I've always had this kind of disdain for the wealthy people, because I think you just kind of always want to separate from where you come from. Often you want to just separate from where you come from. If you come from a poor upbringing or a economically challenged upbringing or whatever, you're going to be automatically wanting the opposite of that. And I think that a lot of kids that grow up in a wealthy environment also kind of want the opposite of that. That's why you see the suburban white kids running around, listening to, gangster rap music and whatnot. they're looking for some sort of way to go out and find their own. I don't know. We can go down that whole philosophical rabbit hole of why, but we're not going to do that today. Today, we're going to stay focused. I swear we're going to stay focused. I swear. So the mentality of money is bad, people with money are evil, there's a victim and oppressor. I mean, it's a very, very prevalent narrative right now in popular culture. It has been for quite some time. Definitely all of my younger days and up into my adult days. That's been somewhat of a prevalent narrative. And I think it's really detrimental to the capacity of the individual to generate wealth. If you don't like it, and if you look at wealth and you look down on it, or you look at it in a negative light, it's never going to come to you. So as you're going into brainwashing yourself, manifesting your own destiny, doing the vision boards, and really starting to grow into your own greatness, you have to investigate what is your actual perspective and where are you coming from on some of these things, so you can kind of find the root. And so there's actually a whole album from Naval Ravikant. I wouldn't know who this guy was if it wasn't for Akira the Dawn. I know I sound like a broken record with that guy, but I just cannot sing his praises enough. So the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, which is a forward by Tim Ferriss, and it's Eric Jorgensen has, I guess, helped him put this together. It's in a real interesting format. He'll have a question that you can see. So you'll see the question, and then Naval will answer throughout the question. And Naval Ravikant, if you guys don't know who he is, look him up. He's an angel investor. He's a really interesting philosophical kind of guy. Has a lot of really great perspectives on things. And I mean, he's rich as fuck. So if you want to get somewhere, take advice from the people that are there, like they know the route. They can draw you the map. So listen to those advisors, treasure and cherish those advisors, really, because they don't have to share the information with you. They could just let you flounder along. But some people will help you personally. And I thank you for helping me personally out there, everyone who has. And some people will help you, as a secondary or tertiary level. Like I said, Akira the Dawn put me on to Naval Ravikant. So he was the secondary, and then Naval would be the tertiary. And then you can start getting all these networks and getting all this information. I will put the link in the description below. If you guys are benefiting from the content that I'm putting out here and enjoying hearing my maniacal machinations from night to night, go ahead and hit the like button wherever the little graphic is going to pop up in one of these corners over here like this. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell when you subscribe so you can be notified when we put out a new episode, and share the show with your friends. Let some other people know about all the wisdom bombs I'll be dropping on your blessed ears night after night after night. So I'm going to go ahead and read out from his book here real quick, and then we'll kind of go over and make some commentary about it. So the question here is, can you expand on your statement, if you secretly despise wealth, it will elude you? So Naval replies, if you get into a relative mindset, you're always going to hate people who do better than you. You're always going to be jealous or envious of them. They'll sense those feelings when you try and do business with them. When you try and do business with somebody, if you have any bad thoughts or any judgments about them, they're going to feel it. Humans are wired to feel what the other person deep down inside feels. You have to get out of a relative mindset. Literally being anti-wealth will prevent you from becoming wealthy, because you won't have the right mindset for it. You won't have the right spirit, and you won't be dealing with people on the right level. Be optimistic, be positive. It's important. Optimists actually do better in the long run. There are fundamentally two huge games in life that people play. One is the money game, because money is not going to solve all your problems, but it's going to solve all your money problems. People realize that, so they want to make money. But at the same time, many of them deep down, they believe they can't make money. They don't want any wealth creation to happen. So they attack the whole enterprise by saying, well, making money is evil. You shouldn't do it. But they're actually playing the other game, which is the status game. They're trying to be high status in the eyes of other people watching by saying, well, I don't need money. We don't want money. Status is your ranking in the social hierarchy. So status is a zero-sum game. It's a very old game. We've been playing it since monkey tribes. It's hierarchical. Who's number one, who's number two, who's number three. And for number three to move to number two has to move out of that slot. So status is a zero-sum game. Politics is an example of a status game. Even sports are an example of a status game. To be the winner, there must be a loser. I don't fundamentally love status games. They play an important role in our society so we can figure out who's in charge, but fundamentally you play them because they're a necessary evil. The problem is, to win at a status game, you have to put somebody else down. That's why you should avoid status games in your life. They make you into an angry, combative person. You're always fighting to put other people down, to put yourself and the people you like up. Status games are always going to exist. There's no way around it, but realize most of the time when you're trying to create wealth and you're getting attacked by someone else, they're trying to increase their own status at your expense. They're playing a different game, and it's a worse game. It's a zero-sum game instead of a positive-sum game. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, it says here. So I think this is really interesting perspective, and I think that the perspective that he has here around status games and that they're a necessary evil is a really interesting assertion. I think that status games are inherent in nature because nature works on a hierarchical structure, and you can't escape that. One wave is bigger than the other. It's just, the big lion is going to kill the little lion, basically, and the ones who work are going to outwork the lazy ones, and they're gonna be the winners. So they're going to have higher status, but it's not necessarily because it's a game or some intentional positioning thing. It has more to do with the natural hierarchy of things. In other words, I don't think that status games are necessary to intentionally infuse into making money. I think his whole first premise here, which is that positive sum games where everyone wins, and this actually goes to John Maxwell leadership characteristic, which is to create win-win situations. So if you create more win-win situations, more people are going to want to do business with you. So in the long run, you're actually going to win, even if you have to give a little bit in the short term. So the status game is sort of like a side effect. It's almost like an echo, or it's going to happen. It's going to happen either way. It's going to happen whether you decide to go ahead and proactively, positively focus on playing that positive sum game, or whether you just sort of sit back and don't do anything, or whether you get in there and try to play that zero sum game of politics or manipulative business practices and those type of things. So anyway, that's my point of view on that. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If that made any sense. If it doesn't make any sense, tell me where we can improve the podcast. Like I said, also hit the like and subscribe buttons over there on the little YouTube screen and whatnot. And thank you all very much for watching. And I'll go ahead and go through the accountability chart real quick. I got up a little bit late, went to bed pretty late as well, making that hysterical episode number 15, which I'm sure everyone is like hooked on and playing on repeat. Super fantastic. And we'll get back into the 5th generational warfare stuff here probably tomorrow evening. I think Will's going to come by from the Burnt Biscuit Gang podcast, and we'll sit down and talk about some of the 5GW definitions and what we can do as citizens. But yeah, so I got up at 7:30, weighed in at 245.4, which was flat from yesterday. I did not do my breathing yet today. I need to get in there and do my breathing before I hit bed. I did a nice circuit training workout. I hit my fast from 10 to 7. I'm just going to call that 2 pages of reading. That's all I really intentionally read today. And a video journal right now. What is it? 30 minutes or something, and editing and everything. And I did a cold shower. I'm going to do a set of an ice bath for tomorrow morning. We'll get some minutes in the ice bath. Meditation is going to go on the accountability chart. I did meditate the day before yesterday, but not this morning. No, sorry. I did meditate yesterday, but not this morning. I was just, no excuses. I'll get in there and do it tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know what's going on. I appreciate everybody for watching. Y'all have a wonderful evening. My screen is over there. I keep looking. I need a screen over here so I can like look and look and look and look. We'll get it figured out. 1% better every day, right?